If the battery in your phone is acting up, maybe it's time for a replacement. So today, I'm gonna walk you through replacing the battery in your iPhone 5S. Hi, I'm Gwendolyn with iFixit, and for this repair you're going to need an iSclack, an iPhone 5-point pentalobe screwdriver, a Phillips 00 screwdriver, plastic opening tools, a spudger, and scissors. I already have the majority of these tools in my ProTech toolkit, so I'm ready to get started. When you do your repair, make sure you follow the step-by-step guide on iFixit.com. Not only does it walk you through the complete repair, you can also see comments and notes from other users who have followed it, which can be extremely helpful. First things first, I'm gonna make sure that my iPhone is completely powered off. And once I've confirmed that, I'm gonna get started by opening the phone and removing the 2 screws by the lightning connector. With those screws out, I'm gonna get started with opening my phone, and to do that, I'm gonna use this tool called the iSclack. The iSclack pries your phone open just enough, making sure it won't damage the home button cable that connects the display assembly to the lower part of the phone. If you don't have an iSclack, you can use a combination of a small suction cup and your spudger to pry the phone open. Just be extremely careful not to damage the home button cable or its connector. Using the iSclack is super simple. Just position the suction cups right over the home button, open the handles, and once the suction cups are fully engaged, just press the handles together and you'll have an open phone. Now we have the phone open just enough room to disconnect the home button cable. And to do that, we're gonna use the pointy end of our spudger and first pry up the bracket that's covering the connector. With the bracket cover off, we just need to disconnect the cable. But be careful when you're working with your spudger that you're only prying the connector up, not prying the entire socket. And now that the home button cable is disconnected, we can open our phone. But keep in mind that the display assembly is still connected to the logic board. To get it completely off, we're going to need to disconnect all the cables at the top of the phone. But before we can get to the cables, we need to remove the cable bracket, which is screwed in place by 4 Phillips screws. Make sure you use an organizational tool for keeping track of your screws. They're incredibly small and can vanish very easily. I'm using one of our magnetic mats, which holds the screws in place, and you can also make notes and keep track of where the screws come from. And there are all those cables. To disconnect them, we're going to use the flat end of our spudger. With the display assembly free, we can move on to our next step, disconnecting the battery. Even though our phone is powered down, it's a good idea to completely disconnect any power sources before continuing any repair. The battery connector is located right below the battery connector bracket, which is held in place by 2 Phillips screws. To disconnect the battery, we're going to use the flat end of our spudger to lift the cable up and out of its socket. Make sure you're prying the connector itself and not the actual socket because you don't want to break the connector entirely. The first step to removing the battery is removing the adhesive strips that hold it in place. The adhesive strips have a tab that can be lifted out by using the pointy end of your spudger. Once you've got it fully out, cut the black tab right between the 2 white strips of adhesive. Carefully pull the innermost tab straight up, making sure to keep it flat and not twisted. With the first one done, pull the second tab up and around the corner of the battery. Now that the adhesive strip has been removed, the battery will lift right out of the phone. For reassembly, we recommend you follow the step-by-step guide on iFixit.com in reverse. And if you're in the mood to see the reassembly on video, check out the iPhone 5S reassembly video on our channel. You can find all the parts and tools you need for this and many more repairs at iFixit.com, and let us know how it goes. You can find me on Twitter at Gwendolyn Gay and follow iFixit at iFixit. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay up to date on all our latest teardowns and repair videos, and give us a like on Facebook at facebook.com/iFixit.